Okay, let's try this again. The first version audio didn't work, which is a typical problem here with the audio upload, with the entire upload here. Anyway, so the Power Linguist back. I'm going to cover something that was brought to my attention, and I'm going to cover everything again and better, hopefully. So I get a lot of emails and private messages and all sorts of missives, basically, on look at this person in the linguophile community, look at this person in the linguophile community, which I don't believe it's really a community. I don't hang out with each other. They don't really know each other. And most of them use fake names and have no real photos, so that's not really what you'd call a community, is it? Anyway, so this has to do with Peter Browne and Steve, the biggest anti-intellectual in the world, Kaufman. So what happened? Well, I got alerted to a video where Steve Kaufman was talking about how to learn languages, which is what he's always talking about, right? Always positing himself as the authority, the source, yet has no evidence, cites nothing, has proven nothing, runs no studies, but he's an expert, right? So he said that you should focus only on one language at a time. You shouldn't try to do two or more at the same time. Peter Browne said he uses a method called triangulation, which is a borrowing of the semantic force of the positioning yourself, sort of what you do when you're trying to find out where you are in the sea or on land, and navigation, or navigation basically, or trying to find a signal source. Anyway, from triangulation, this is what he's doing. He's using his strong L2 to learn an L3, so he reinforces his L2. Steve Kaufman didn't like this, and so the sycophants of Steve Kaufman then came on saying, yeah, I don't really believe in that. It's not a great idea. You know, Steve's the greatest. He knows everything. Of course, he's proven nothing. He just talks from his opinion that he tries to come across as fact. Anyway, so Peter Browne told these people that, well, they weren't qualified to make a determination because they weren't experts. They hadn't learned as many languages as he had. They had studied as many. They didn't have as high of a score on that great language game. And they weren't working in a university. Didn't have a PhD. All very strong assertions that are true. Because the linguophiles would like to believe that everybody is equal. We're not. You're not. Absolutely not. That's because they have no certifications, no diplomas, no credentials. They have nothing. So they'd like to think that they're equal to other people, but you're not. Someone who can lift 600 pounds is far superior to you. Can't lift 100. A person that can run a 2-hour something minute marathon is far better and superior to you that takes 3 weeks to possibly cover that same distance. And the same goes. There's a rigorous sort of weeding out of people who can't go through the academic hurdles and jumps. And it means a lot. This is why Steve Kaufman, anti-intellectual, said he was participating in the multilingual conference at McGill University. Okay, let's clear that up. Number one, no terminology of polyglot or polyglottery or any sort of neologism that the morons want to come across with and try to make it sound like something. Two, Steve, you don't understand the word participation. You're participating as much as a spectator at the Super Bowl. You go to the Super Bowl and you watch. That's a spectator. You're spectating. You're not participating in anything. You have no abstracts. You don't have the qualifications to present a paper there. They wouldn't accept your paper. Please do that. So get your semantic definitions correct here. You're not participating. You're spectating. All right. So anyway, so the anti-intellectual Steve then said, you know, I don't believe in it, blah, 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 always trying to posit himself as if he's the authority. And other people started attacking Peter Browne like piranha, saying, hey, you have an ego, blah, 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 blah. And he responded that he was the power polyglot, which I like that nom de la guerre. I love that. It's great. The power linguist, boom, gives a stamp of approval to that name, the power polyglot. So they were taken aback by his statement that he was better than they were, that he had accomplished things that they hadn't accomplished. It's all true. Are they teaching somewhere? Do they have a PhD? I don't think that they do they? Are they able to learn as well? Do they know certain languages he knows? He's an aficionado of Latin, classical Latin, so am I. I groove to that. Haven't studied it in a really long time, though, but it's an incredible language. There's a lot of things it does other languages don't do. It's very information dense for the bound morphemes that are put together in a lexical unit. Yeah, much stronger. That's isolating languages are the opposite of that, but I'm not going to go into all that linguistics stuff right now. The factor also that he really likes Esperanto, that's okay. And I just like the fact that the people who want to detract and attack in a mass of piranha always are the ones who want to decry the people who've actually done something. And just as recently I put up a video talking about the Ukrainian guy who speaks 20 languages, and people automatically attacked him on the most picayune things about accent, blah, blah, blah. You can do that with L1 speakers, okay? I don't like some of you L1 speaker in English accents, and I guarantee you people in Spain don't like your L1 Spanish accent in places like Costa Rica or Guatemala, or many places. So, you'll have that, and that's just how it is. They attacked it on him. The kid's only been working. He's only 17 years old. He's only been working on some of these languages for 2 or 3 months. Yet, you got all these people who shove accolades towards the direction of Moses McCormick, Laoshu 55,000, who has spent years on many different languages and doesn't speak them at all well. His Spanish is not good. His French is not good. If people don't know anything about the Oriental languages, he's not good in Thai. He's off Khmer. He's off in Vietnamese. So that's what I can comment on, those ones that I definitely know for certain. I also heard from people who know Esperanto that he's heaping off on Esperanto. So there you go. The fact is, why are these people gravitating towards saying, oh, Mo's leveling up, which is just another neologism for practicing. He's actually scamming people. He's going in and he's trying to see if he can babble to them for free, practicing his pretty much the same old monologues that he uses over and over again. And he tells people lies, like he knows Spanish from Spain. No, you haven't. You've never been in Spain. When the hell have you been in Spain, Moses? When? Tell me. When? Where did you learn? What part of Spain were you learning Spanish in? Nowhere. It's just a lie. It's just part of his thing that he does. That this is endemic of this whole crowd. That's why I'm talking about him right now. This is cheaper for him, I guess, in psychotherapy, because he gets ego strokes of people saying, "Wow, you speak the language because you're in the United States, and you say a few words in a language that not many people are going to speak because it's not the macro language." And you've noticed that Mexicans don't want to speak to you. I wonder why that is. Anyway, so this is endemic, as I said, of people gravitating towards this thing because they feel some sort of bond with the common Slav. So these guys are the common Slavs, and when you get people who are really have qualifications and credentials that the other people are not willing to put in the time or effort to accomplish, then they don't like it. And they want to say, oh, titles don't matter, certifications don't matter, nothing matters, right? Right. Yeah. So I know, keep pushing that broom down there at McDonald's, because that's the cognitive level that you're able to handle. You don't seem to know that that is not how things are, and just because you take a book on anatomy or physiology and read it does not make you a medical doctor, and you certainly are not ready to do surgery. So these are the same things, once again, about the whole linguistics linguophile thing. Now, why I'm talking about this is because people have chided in, take this back, because this all is a nexus, because see, all this is building up. It's not just about Peter Browne and Steve Kaufman in this one instance. It's about all the things that have occurred before that and all the things that are building around, and there's really starting to get to be a few different camps out there of people. You've got the people who are definitely just trying to get money out of their slant on things and don't want to hear about anybody else. That's Kaufman. That's Benny. And Nelson tells me that's also Luca at this point in time. Don't know. I haven't talked to Luca. And we got other people like David Manzarek, who wants to try to come in and try to be a documentary guy, but he's scared of controversy. So good luck, you know. Why don't you go to Liberia and let's see how long you last there, trying to do a documentary on things that are calm and non-controversial. Anyway, the whole point is all this is building up. So you got all these camps, and I got all these people writing to me that say, yeah, I'm glad you're doing this. It's great because no one else is. Yeah, no one else. That's why I'm here. And I'm going to continue to Sam Harris the hell out of Kaufman, especially because he keeps banding about things as if he were a source of information. He posits opinion as if they were fact. He also misconstrues Krashen's work, doesn't look at the entire thing, hasn't looked at how he's been refuted, also doesn't look at the logical fallacies that happen to be in Krashen's work. And, you know, this is endemic, as I'm saying, and then they all want to gravitate together so they can all bind together and make money together. That's whole polyglot, you know, science fiction Comic-Con sort of idea they got going with their polyglot anti-intellectual conferences. Anyway, all that ties into this because it's all part of what's going on. So then you come down to, in the end, everybody has to take a side. So Peter Browne is on the other side of saying, look, you know, I've done this, I've accomplished this, and what have you done? So who are you to make any comments? Just because you're a pundit, you have an internet connection, live in the basement, doesn't mean your voice or your opinion counts for anything. And my reply has always been, why don't you tell us about NASA, because you know about as much about NASA's qualifications, and you're about as up to date on what NASA does as you are on linguistics research, second language acquisition, and a host of other things. So we're not all equal. Get that through your head, okay? Come live in the Orient, India, Saudi Arabia, or many other places, and you'll find out immediately nobody even buys into that idea that there's equality. But that's going off on a different tangent. All these things that I mentioned are, of course, hosted within this controversy that's happening now with Peter Browne and Kaufman. So, really, who would you rather go with? Kaufman, who has never proven anything, or Peter Browne, who's proven himself in academia and has said, look, okay, let's compare, let's see. Well, I'll tell you who the power linguist is going with. Boom, it's going to be the power polyglot. So, check you later, okay? And as we say in Thailand, you know, Bogan my crap.